Hello, health psychology students, summer of 2021. Welcome to the class. This class is totally asynchronous and you can move at your own pace as long as you meet the deadlines. And I will be reminding you about the deadlines. The plan for this little clip here is just to go over the syllabus. This is Psych 3653. We will have psych majors in this class. We will have exercise science majors. And students from a lot of other disciplines. And I really like having students in my class that come from different disciplines. Please note the course objective. And this course is designed to give you an introduction to the fields of health psychology, epidemiology. We'll have one particular lecture on that. It will introduce you to some public health and some healthcare aspects of US healthcare. And it will also focus on behavior change in this thing called behavioral medicine, where we use behavior in lieu of traditional medicine, like medications and surgical procedures and that type of thing, to help prevent medical illness and to improve wellness and quality of life in individuals. I highly recommend that you follow through as you learn and you follow the syllabus during this asynchronous class. I've got everything listed up on As You Learn in order in which you need to do it. And I've got the dates on there that are kind of the recommended deadlines for viewing the lectures, the documentaries, the video clips. And then the exam dates are hard, meaning that you absolutely need to take the exam by 5 o'clock on the dates where the exam is scheduled. However, the exams will be opened up earlier than that. And so you can move at your own pace, and students, you can certainly get ahead, and there will be students that will finish the class well before the end date. And so again, lots of flexibility here. You can move at your own pace. I will be teaching this class for your information and for your skill sets in a way that ideally can influence your personal health, as well as I'm going to be assuming that many of you in here are going to be future healthcare providers. You're going to be counselors, psychotherapists, physicians, physical therapists, music therapists, dietitians, physician's assistants, all that kind of stuff. And so I've really tried to design the information in this course for personal health, as well as a practicing health professional. What are the basics in the field of clinical health psychology that you would want to use in the future to assist your clients or your patients in their own healing and their own health? And so please do read over the course objective thoroughly, the student learning outcomes. Class inclusion is very important to me. We're obviously not meeting synchronously or in a real classroom, but I welcome students from all backgrounds and wish to encourage everyone to succeed. The grading system is going to be very simple, and I keep it simple for a reason, especially with this asynchronous online. There are going to be 4 exams. Each of the exams are worth 25% of your grade. 25 times 4 is 100, so that goes up to 100% of your final grade. Each of the exams will be 50 items, multiple choice. And it will be open book, open note, only because I cannot control, if I were to say it had to be closed note, closed book, I can't control when you're taking them online, if you're looking up information or not. So to be fair to everybody, I didn't used to do this when students would take the exam online, but actually in the classroom, but I'm doing it now during the pandemic. But you will only be allotted 45 minutes. And the reason for 45 minutes is you are not to spend a whole lot of time looking up information and then answering the exam questions, because I really want you to absorb and to learn a lot of the information and the take-home points that I teach in this class, again, for your own personal health, for those of you who are going to be future healthcare providers. And if you do not study and learn the material and commit it to memory, then you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out, and you're paying good money to be able to take this class in your tuition. So it's limited for that reason, because I don't want to tempt people to just go, oh, I don't have to listen to lectures. I can just look everything up as I take the exam, and I don't want that to happen. You are definitely on your honor, that it is you taking the exam, that you are not sharing exam material with anyone else. let's just all try to be respectful of what professors are going through during the pandemic with these online classes. Let's just all be fair to ourselves and one another and respect the honor code. When it comes to the exams, I've got it really simple. It's 25 points for each exam, including the final, which will be the same format, 50 items, multiple choice. The final is cumulative though. And the reason for that from a learning perspective is, again, I want you to absorb this information, learn it, and be able to call upon it and use it in the future for yourself or for your clients or your patients. I do want to note that my cutoff is a little bit different. I do plus or minuses, but my cutoff for A's and B's starts at the 4s, not the 3s, just so you're aware of that. Academic integrity code, we're all going to be honest and not cheat. Housing, food, and security, if this is the case for you all, and I know I've met with some students over Zoom during the pandemic who've had some really awful things happen to them, including getting sick, losing their job, losing their housing, struggling to find food. Feel free to reach out and get some help if you all need that. Reach out to me, and then I can point you in the direction of where you can find other resources too. I certainly honor anybody who has a registered disability through ODS. And so if that's the case, make sure that I'm notified and I will accommodate as needed. Class attendance. We don't really have a classroom and we're not really meeting live, but what class attendance is about is you want to make sure you are viewing the material that I've loaded up on As You Learn, and that you are taking notes on the material, including my lectures and including the video clips and including the documentaries. Everything I put up there, I feel like is important for your knowledge and your skill set. So it's up there. I do not give out my PowerPoint slides. And the reason I didn't do that even when I taught in the classroom, and I'm not doing it now, because a lot of students get this false sense of security. If they've got the PowerPoints, they feel like they know, like they can look over, the words on the PowerPoints and get the full learning experience. But I will let you know that there is so much more than the information on the PowerPoint slides, because I do my best as we go through the class and I use the PowerPoints to show you what I'm emphasizing, show you what I feel like is important. I will add a lot of case presentations of people that I've worked with different types of medical disability and the kinds of things that we did clinically. I will add stories to the class that will help bring material to life. So please don't just feel like you could rely on PowerPoints, which again, I haven't posted publicly, but I've heard they're out there on some website, but you will not get the full learning experience. You will get your experience if that's what you are relying on. So definitely, I put time and energy into putting the lectures together and the documentaries and all that information. The class outline, we move at a quick clip in summer school. These are the deadlines. And again, the hard deadlines are the drop dead deadlines of the exams. You need to take these exams by these scheduled dates, especially the final exam. However, these are suggested dates for the particular lectures in the material, and you'll see that the lecture names here match up to the lecture names on As You Learn. And again, as You Learn moves down, then we are moving across time in our little semester here. So you can move at your own pace. What I just want to recommend that you don't do is get behind, because these are power-packed lectures. Again, class was normally like 2 hours in a summer school day. And so we're talking like 2 hours of material every day. So if you get behind, you can get behind really quickly. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. So again, these are to be used as a guideline, but the exam deadlines are hard and fast. I do wish for you to read the study guide and the learning strategies, because I think this is really important. And I have borrowed from the science here to give you information and strategies to help you with your study skills that I really think will help you learn and optimize your learning in this class. And so I highly recommend that you view the lectures. You can pause them if you need more time to take notes. I advise that you take notes on the lectures. After the lectures, I advise that you take notes on your notes, because again, you're not going to be able to remember, 5 pages of notes necessarily per class as an example. But if you take notes on your notes and you boil it down in a way that you can remember the material, that's really going to help you. I also recommend that you do a couple other things in your notes. Relate it to your own life. Take the material, and if there's in some way it relates to you, somebody you know, something you've been through, take personal notes about those things along with the class notes, because again, that's going to help you remember. So let's say that we're covering diabetes as an example. So one that I use in the study guide. And you had an aunt who had diabetes and had to have a leg amputated or had to go on kidney dialysis to clean her blood. Make a note about your aunt and remind yourself like, oh, now I understand. After I understand what we've talked about, what causes type 1, type 2 diabetes, now I understand why my aunt had to go on dialysis because of kidney failure, or why she had to have a leg amputated because of gangrene and all the issues that people with diabetes can get in with their circulation in their feet. So relate it to life. Another thing that I encourage you to do, and I know it's going to take some time, and for many of you, it's going to take taking the first exam to get a real feel for that, is, and I know you're not in my head, and I don't want you to be in my head because that could be a scary place for some of you, but ask yourself, why would I be teaching this for you personally, for a student taking a psychology course? And why especially would I be teaching you this information if you're going to be a future healthcare provider? That can really help you as you go through the lectures and you take notes on the material, start to recognize what's really important. What are the take-home points? Okay. I try to point that stuff out as I'm lecturing, but I highly recommend that you do that. I've also got some information in here in the past, the students who've done really well, who have learned the material in this class, some of the strategies that they have used. I highly recommend like flashcards, things like that for the memorization pieces. I know some students use Quizlet. If you use Quizlet, I recommend, from what I can tell that I know about it, don't use other people's Quizlet, create your own. Because a bunch of the learning happens when you load that information into Quizlet. That is part of the learning process. And again, I want students to learn and gain skill sets. If you have any questions for me, please contact me. Oh, I do want you to know that I do not have posted office hours. I'm not going to like sit and hang out on Zoom during the summertime, but I absolutely welcome that you contact me and we can set up an appointment and do office hours. That's, you're paying good tuition money. I enjoy meeting with students. I enjoy getting to meet students. I miss out on all of this stuff during the pandemic. And so I welcome that you contact me to schedule an appointment for office hours. So please do that. All right. Good luck with the class.